Imagine you're at the checkout, about to pay for your groceries. The cashier smiles and says, "Did you know you could be earning money back on everything you just bought?" And something lights up inside you. Free money, just for spending money I was already going to spend. So you sign up. You get the card. You start swiping. And here's where it gets interesting because that feeling you just had, that little spark of excitement, that wasn't an accident. It was engineered. And understanding why it was engineered might be the most important money lesson you learn today. Let's talk about cashback rewards. Because on the surface, they seem like one of the best deals in personal finance. Spend money, get money back. Simple, logical, almost too good to be true. And that phrase, too good to be true, is worth sitting with for a second. Here's what most people believe. Cashback cards are basically free money. You were going to buy those groceries anyway. You were going to fill up your car anyway. So why not get 2% back on every purchase? Why not collect the points? Why not let the bank pay you to exist? It sounds completely reasonable. And for some people, it actually works out that way. But for most people, and this is the part nobody talks about, cashback rewards don't save money. They cost money, just in a way that's really hard to see. Let me tell you about something called the decoupling effect. When you pay with cash, there's a psychological friction. You physically hand something over. You feel the loss. Researchers have found that people who pay with cash actually feel a mild form of pain at the moment of purchase. Sounds dramatic, but it's true. That pain acts like a natural brake on spending. Credit cards remove that friction entirely. You tap, you swipe, you sign, and the money feels almost imaginary. But cashback cards? They take it one step further. Now spending doesn't just feel painless. It feels rewarding. You're not losing money. You're earning money. Your brain flips the script completely, and that's exactly what the banks are counting on. Here's a simple example. Say you go to buy a new jacket. It costs $80. You weren't really planning to buy it today, but then you remember you get 3% cash back on clothing purchases. That's $240 back in your pocket, so you buy the jacket. But here's the question. Would you have bought that jacket without the cash back? Maybe not. Maybe you would have walked away, thought about it for a week, and decided you didn't actually need it. The cash back didn't save you money. It justified spending money you might not have spent at all. The bank gave you $240 and got $80 of your money in return. That's not a bad deal for them. Now let's go even deeper. Because this is where it gets really fascinating. Banks don't hand out rewards because they're generous. They hand out rewards because they're profitable. Every time you use a cashback card, the merchant pays a transaction fee, usually somewhere between 1.5% and 3.5% of the purchase. So the bank is collecting fees on every single swipe. The cashback they give you is simply a slice of the fee they already collected. They're sharing a portion of their profit with you to keep you swiping. But here's the thing, those merchant fees, they don't come out of thin air. Merchants quietly build them into their prices. So in a world where everyone uses credit cards, prices are slightly higher across the board to cover those fees, which means even people paying with cash or using debit cards are effectively subsidizing the rewards that cashback card users collect. It's a system that transfers wealth from people who don't use rewards cards to people who do, and from people who carry a balance on their card to people who pay it off in full every month. That last part is critical, because here's the dirty secret buried in the small print. Cashback rewards only make sense if you pay your balance in full, every single month. The average credit card interest rate in the UK right now sits somewhere around 24% annually. If you carry even a small balance, say $500, and you're paying 24% interest, that wipes out an entire year's worth of cashback rewards before you've even noticed. You could be earning 3% cashback and losing 24% in interest simultaneously, and somehow still feeling like you're winning because you're watching those reward points go up. This is what behavioral economists call selective attention. We focus on the visible reward and mentally block out the invisible cost. The points are real and tangible. The interest charge is abstract and easy to ignore. So does all this mean cashback cards are a scam? Not exactly, but they're not quite what they appear to be either. Think of it like this. A cashback card is a tool. And tools can build things or break things depending entirely on who's holding them and whether they understand how it works. If you have strong financial discipline, pay your balance in full every month without fail, and would have made those purchases regardless, then yes, cashback rewards are a genuine benefit. You're playing the system correctly. But if a cashback card quietly encourages you to spend more, carry a balance, or mentally justify purchases you'd otherwise skip, then the rewards are just expensive window dressing on a habit that's quietly draining your wealth. So here's the practical takeaway. Before you sign up for a rewards card or before you keep swiping the one already in your wallet, ask yourself 3 honest questions. 1. Do I pay my balance in full every single month without exception? 2. Am I spending more than I would with a debit card or cash even slightly? 3. Am I making purchases I wouldn't have made without the reward? If you answered yes to question 1 and no to questions 2 and 3, you're one of the rare people who genuinely benefits from cashback rewards. Use it. The system is working in your favor. But if there's any hesitation in those answers, any at all, then the rewards aren't working for you. You're working for the rewards, and someone else is getting the better end of that deal. Here's the thought to leave you with. The cleverest financial products ever designed aren't the ones that feel like a trap. They're the ones that feel like a gift. Because when something feels like free money, we stop asking questions. And in personal finance, the moment you stop asking questions is usually the moment someone else starts quietly profiting from your assumptions. Cashback rewards are neither smart nor a scam. They're a mirror. And what they reflect back at you depends entirely on your relationship with money. The question is, are you ready to look? If this made you think differently about spending, share it with someone who swears by their rewards card. And if you want to keep understanding the psychology behind your money decisions, subscribe to our channel.